What's up guys, Dan here, and welcome to the first video in a completely new series which will be titled How the Race Was Won. In this series I am going to break down the key moments of a number of televised sailing races and show you exactly what happened and what led to the final results. And for the first video, I am going to break down the ILCA 6 medal race from the recent 2023 Sailing World Championships in The Hague in the Netherlands. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. As we can see here, we have the conditions for the racing. The wind is coming from the west, and we have 11 knots of wind. But to my eyes, it looks a little bit lighter than 11 knots. And so now we see the point situation going into the medal race. As you can see, Maud Jaillet from Switzerland is the leader going into the medal race, but she is closely followed by Annemarie Rindum in second, 4 points behind, and Maria Erdi from Hungary, also 4 points behind in third. But basically in this race, anyone from first to fifth could win, and especially amongst the top three, it's probably going to come down to who's the best on the day. So winner takes all situation, and that makes for some very exciting racing. So we can see that they are doing a 2-lap windward-leeward for this race. And the first crucial moment for this race is going to come at the start. As we can see, the wind looks very light, and the commentary team have also mentioned that their current is pushing everyone upwind or over the start line. Now, the first crucial moment of this race is going to come at the start, where we can see the boats are already very close to the line with their current pushing them towards the line. Now, as we see here, Annemarie Rindum from Denmark actually went back after being over at the line, which is crucial because she was second going into this race, and so that already puts her at a massive disadvantage. So we can now see here that Maud Jaillet and Marie Erdi are now the two main contenders for the overall World Championship after Annemarie Rindum had to go back at the start line. And we can see that Marie Erdi is throwing a number of tacks to try and put Maud at a disadvantage. Now this is the first top mark rounding, which is going to basically set up everything that happens in the rest of the race and how the whole World Championship plays out. So we see Josephine Olsen leading, and then followed right behind her is Emma Plachert from Belgium. So the first two are not at all in contention for the overall title, but now Maud Jaillet is actually rounding the top mark in third. And now this is a very interesting decision point, because what we see Maud do here is immediately start going hard by the lee, whereas Marie Erdi is clearly going more of a broad reach on the downwind. And now we see Annemarie Rindum rounding the top mark in second last. So in the minds of Maud and Marie, Annemarie is basically all but buried now, and now they just need to worry about Marit Bouwmeester and each other when it comes to the World Championship title. And now we see a big split happening here with a group going towards the right of the downwind, and that group contains Marie Erdi. We see Josephine Olsen, who's the race leader, playing more of the middle. And on the other side of the course, out of shot, is Maud Jaillet going to the left of the downwind. So in Maud's position, she's leading the World Championship, and she has her main competitor, Marie, going one direction. So it's up to Maud now to stick with Marie and make sure that Marie can't get in front of her. And we also see there that Marit Bouwmeester is also on the right side of the downwind. This is looking downwind. And so Maud has now put herself at a very, very big risk because her two main rivals for the World Championship are on the opposite side of the course. And so now at this point, we see that Maud is very far away from the rum line and has lost a lot of ground on the main group. And it's actually here where she gets a penalty from the jury.
The umpires penalized Switzerland for rocking.
So now we see that Josephine Olsen and Emma Plachert stay in 1 and 2 at the first bottom mark. And now Marie Erdi is in third. So this is a very good position for her to be in. She has put Maud well behind her, and Anne-Marie Rindam is also well behind her after her penalty at the start. And now we see also that Marit Baumeister rounds in fourth. So Marit Baumeister is Mari's only competition now for the World Championship title, and Mari's job is basically to just keep Marit behind her and sail a clean race from here. And so we see Maud has just round the left turn mark. Marit Baumeister has tacked onto port, and very wisely, Mari Erdi has also tacked onto port to cover both Maud and Marit, and she's locking up this race by just covering them and leading them the rest of the way around the course. So unfortunately for Maud, it looks like the course is very left-hand favored, and she is now on the right-hand side of the fleet with everyone on port tack. So the two leaders, Josephine Olsen and Emma Plashart, have rounded the second top mark, and we see that Mari Erdi has sailed a very conservative second upwind and maintained her third position, keeping Marit Baumeister behind her, and more importantly, keeping Maud Jaillet a number of boats behind her. So it's now going to be up to Mari to sail a very conservative downwind and not push the limits in terms of Rule 42, and just make sure that Marit stays behind her. Although Mari can afford to have a boat between her and Marit Baumeister, and Mari will still claim the World Championship. So now we see Anne-Marie Rindam and Maud Jaillet rounding together, well behind Mari. So for them, it's going to be very difficult to get back into World Championship contention. So we see Mari doing exactly what she needs to do, staying very conservative and following the leaders here, trying to just stay in clear air and not take too many risks. So the top three positions have stayed the same, with Josephine Olsen rounding in first, Emma in second, and we see Mari has put herself in a position between her competition and the next mark, and will now go on to finish third in the race and win the World Championship. Now, Vasilea Carvalho from Portugal has managed to sneak in front of Marit Baumeister, which means that Anne-Marie Rindam and Maud Jaillet are going to be close enough to Marit that they won't lose their podium places to her. And so the podium rounds out with Mari Erdi winning the World Championship, Maud Jaillet in second, and Anne-Marie Rindam in third. And here are our two other podium finishers. So that's how the 2023 ILCA 6 World Championships was won. If you guys like this video, please let me know in the comments and I will make more of them. And if not, I will see you next time, and thank you for watching.